Imagine swinging your legs from your bed to your desk to work.
Remote work has been here even long before COVID-19, and that is all that Ivan Kanonura, as software engineer, has known for the last 14 years, and he would not have it any other way.
You're more productive because you're working for more time. It's easier to hit your goals in that focus, in that bubble of work. You work with individuals from all across the world. I work with people from the US, people from Europe, people from Asia. You get this experience and it adds to your own career growth. It gives you more opportunities than you would get in your local environment.
It creates an environment where an employee is able to shine and then apply a mature approach to issues. It also supports the aspect of work-life balance. So you know when to do any of your personal activities for so long as you're able to close on your pending actions, regardless of where you are.
But despite all the glory that remote work carries, there are some stones in the rise that make it hard to drive teams forward. And that is why Elon Musk calls it morally wrong, asking his Tesla workers to give it 40 hours of work per week. Even Zoom, the greatest advocate for remote work, is asking its employees to come in at least twice a week. What is their cry about?
It becomes challenging for any organization to promote organizational culture. Now, you see, culture refers to how an organization does its things, the ways of working. So if you have a new employee, it's going to be very dangerous for you to induct the new employee on Zoom. Because you see, it comes from the actions. Culture is not taught, it's caught. It's from the actions that you do that other employees are going to look at you as top management, middle level, and even operational staff, and work together as a team. It's very hard to measure performance. You look, even the most skilled players like Messi come and train every day, and the coach looks at them. So if you're going to work from home, how is your line manager going to take note of the critical incidents? Look at your emotional abilities and be like, okay, I need to support this person to be able to deliver. The employees feel isolated. It's one of the biggest challenges. So you feel you're at home alone, you feel your line manager isn't supporting you, but also the line manager feels you're not working. The employee misses out on things like bonus and all that. When you're together, it's very easy to put up a memo, yeah? Sometimes, and some communications don't require mails. Some communications just require a one-on-one and be like, I see you're not feeling okay. What could be the issue with you? Yeah? If you're implementing a new policy, maybe it's about health and safety. How are you going to train people in terms of communicate in terms of what is a fire extinguisher on Zoom? Everyone is at their home doing what they feel they can do. Even when they have a challenging presentation or task, everyone can switch off their phones. But if everyone was at office, then it would be very easy to call for an emergency meeting and sort it out.
It's not just the HR manager who needs their employees back in office. Even the customers miss that face-to-face interaction. Research shows that people buy experience and not just good products.
I mean, when you're providing a service on Zoom or any other social network, you have a limit to it. Even your experience that you give them, it means a lot. Even if it's just a service, even if you went to hospital to get medication, I mean, the feel of how the nurse treats you will determine whether you will heal or not in terms of perception.
It is clear that remote work was never the ideal thing. It was just circumstantial, and there is a looming shift in work dynamics. So what can that HR officer do to ensure that they can still support their employees, even when working offsite?
There have been a few AI-generated tools that have been introduced into the system that support in measuring the performance of employees remotely. We also have physical tools that can be input in the computers that can support in the dial in, dial out. So it shows when someone clocks in, when they clock out, and it also indicates what work they're doing in the computer. Yes, organizations can also leverage on creating the different engagement opportunities for the employees that help the employees to think how can they create the balance that they need in terms of, yes, I've given the whole week to work. Can we engage something family related on Fridays. We could also look at the policies. I've seen different countries. A few weeks ago, I was in South Africa, in Cape Town, and I got to understand that there is a specific kind of work visa, a work permit, that enables people from all across the world to live in South Africa but work remotely. So if we want to think of a way to encourage employers to have the remote work opportunities for the employees, we could look at adjusting it in the policies.
COVID-19 pandemic challenged the norms of life and work. However, human nature is back in full force, demanding for what humans love, interaction. We can only wait for what lies ahead. Joan Salmon, NTV.